Hello everyone, and I'm live for the coffee break. Coffee break with me. Let me load the Instagram. It is connecting. As always, I'm going to wait for a minute or so to see who is going to join me live. And if you're watching it on the replay, welcome to. I'm going to make sure that I can see all of the comments on YouTube as well, and then on Instagram. Well, I hope you're all well. I haven't had time to make myself coffee. I'm doing live in 45 minutes with Ricky. So you want to come? Then I'll have my coffee. Got some water. It's been a very, very busy week, but I'm very, very grateful and happy to be here as well. Okay, I think everything is plugged in, so we can start. I pulled some cards, and then I've got some common questions that I'm being asked that I want to answer today, so that will be fun as well. I'll pour more water into my cup. Let me all know in the comments, how are you? Hi, Erica. Let me know, how are you? I've got some cool questions I'll be answering today, but I also got some cards that I pulled as well. And then I'm doing another live I've just mentioned, like with Ricky at 6. Well, 6 for me, so in 45 minutes. So this one's going to be around like half an hour, so I can make myself that cup of coffee. Hello, hello. Hi, so nice to see you. Okay, let's start, and whoever is going to join will be able to catch up, and that will be available on the replay as well. I am very well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, I'm very excited for various reasons. Yeah, no, but I'm well. And today we have a summer solstice, so that's really nice, and I'll be doing some beautiful card readings with Ricky as well. Hello, everyone who is joining me now. So let's officially welcome you. Well, it's not official live, but hello, 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 and happy summer solstice. And I truly believe that today is a sacred turning point because it's the longest day of the year when the sun pauses in its journey and invites us to do the same. Mm. So, astrologically, we've just shifted into Cancer season, a time of deep emotion, intuition, and nurturing our inner world. And the sun is at its strongest. And that means the light within us wants to be seen and celebrated too. How cool is that? The solstice is not just about sunlight, it's about soul light. So think about it. You can ask yourself those questions. Where have you grown? Where are you being asked to release control? And what new chapter is gently asking for your trust? Okay, I want us to do a mini visualization. If you've been attending my lives, you know that I love doing some visualizations and meditations as well. I love to incorporate them into my day-to-day practice, but also with my clients as well. Hi, Gina. So let's take a moment to ground ourselves. Close your eyes if it's safe to do so, or if you prefer to have them open, keep them open. But take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale gently. And one more time, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now I would love for you to be able to imagine golden roots extending from your feet into the warm earth below you. Feel your body settle. The earth holds you. You are supported. Now picture a golden sun above your head. This is your soul light, radiant, warm, alive. And let that light pour down through the crown of your head into your heart and into your belly like a waterfall of confidence, clarity, and renewal. And place one hand on your heart and whisper, I honor the light within me. I am ready to grow forward. Let's repeat 2 more times. I honor the light within me. I am ready to grow forward. And one more time. I honor the light within me. I am ready to grow forward. Beautiful. Oh, something got into my eye. When you're ready, just open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and toes, and I'll show you the cards that I pulled today. And then, as I said, I'm going to answer some questions that I'm frequently being asked about psychic mediumship. And if you've got any questions as well, but for any card pulls, then come and join my other live at 6 o'clock, 6 by time. Hello, Graham. Okie dokie. So the cards that I pulled for us today. Wow, what a message. So we have the Saturn, the wise teacher. Hello, 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 lovely. Hello, beautiful. Saturn shows us the structures we build, the routines, boundaries, and lessons we have earned. This card reminds you have grown through effort. You've become the architect of your own resilience, but it also gently asks you, are you still holding onto rules that no longer serve you? Saturn really invites you to honor the past, but not to become trapped by it. Then we have a ship, the gentle guide. The ship comes with a sweet reminder you don't have to force your way forward. Dressed in flowers, holding the lamp, she tells us softness is a strength. There is movement ahead, a journey is unfolding, but you don't have to do it with tension or control. You are being encouraged to let yourself be guided and let the path open gently. And of course, trust the rhythm. And then 2 other cards that I've got. We've got the Magician, the Manifestor. Of course, this card is pure magic. It tells you you already have everything you need. You're not starting from scratch. You are starting from power. Your tools are on the table. Your inner wisdom is intact and the energy is ready. Claim your power and use it with intention. And then we have the Fool card, the Sacred Beginner. Beautiful. The Fool brings us back to the heart, joy, curiosity, trust. And what I keep hearing is that you don't need a 10-step plan. You just need to take the first step. The Fool reminds you you can leap, not because everything is perfect, but because your soul says yes. So today's invitation from the cards that I'm looking at is, well, let Saturn really ground you, let the ship soften you, let the Magician empower you, and let the Fool open your heart. And this summer solstice, you're both the master and the beginner. You're not who you were, and yet you're just becoming. And I would really encourage you to journal today, or you can really sit with yourself and ask yourself, what am I proud of in my growth this year? What structure or belief am I ready to release? And what would trusting my joy look like today? And finally, what tool or gift do I already have within me? And don't worry if you don't remember all of the questions, this will be available on a replay, but I really wanted to share them with you. Okay, so today the aim of the coffee break, apart from us like interacting, of course, I have some questions that I'm being asked that I want to answer. And if you've got anything you want me to ask as well, but remember that I'll be pulling some cards with Ricky in half an hour, 34 minutes exactly. So the first question that I want to answer that I'm being asked frequently, and we are covering anything and everything. So the first question, how do psychic mediums work? Because it's one of the most frequent questions that I get. So how do psychic mediums actually work? I thought I would answer this in the most honest, clear, and personal way I can, because as some of you might know, that I work as both a psychic and a medium. I'm a psychic medium, and here it is. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it into smaller pieces. Here it is what it means. So as a psychic, I read energy, and as a medium, I connect with spirit, your loved ones, your spirit guides, and angels. And sometimes I do both in the same session. And before I begin any reading, I always set a sacred intention, and I might say, let me receive only what is for the highest good of this client. Let me be clear, grounded, protected, and in service. Because this is sacred work, and it is not entertainment. It is not a show. It is a bridge between the physical and spiritual world, and it holds deep responsibility. I want to talk now about psychic readings, or parts of that, part of my readings when I work psychically. So when I work psychically, I tune into your aura, which is your energetic field that surrounds your body and carries your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual information. And it is like energetic imprint of everything you're going through, carrying, attracting, or resisting. And I can read your emotional state. Are you holding sadness, anxiety, joy, or expansion? Relationships? What connections are nourishing or draining you? Career themes or life direction? What wants to grow in your path? Soul lessons, what patterns are repeating or asking to be healed. And then energy blocks or opportunities, what's rising and what's possible. And sometimes I will say things like, there's someone around you who's draining your energy, you're feeling stuck, but I see a creative shift coming in 2 months. Or perhaps there's a move or change of scenery on the horizon. It's already in your field. But I want you to be very clear. I don't believe in fortune telling. And even though I can see what may be unfolding, that doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen, because you have a free will. So you're not meant to give your power away to any psychic medium. I want you to know it. My job isn't just to predict your future. It is to help you understand what you're creating right now and how you can work with your energy to live more in alignment with your soul. Because I truly believe that the most beautiful psychic readings are those who are the ones that are going to empower you. I want every single client to walk away feeling more clear, more grounded, and more in tune with their inner knowing, not dependent on me or anyone else. Because real spiritual work should help you understand yourself, recognize your patterns, reconnect to your intuition, make aligned choices, and feel seen and validated. And of course, I am saying what I see based on reading your energy, but I truly believe those psychic readings should be more than you're going to get a red car, or you are going to be in love with that particular person and she looks like that. And of course, I'm able to see that, but I truly believe, like, if we open ourselves to more, that we can really benefit more from those psychic readings. I feel life becomes like easier, and you get so much more support. So I want you to be clear about that. And I want you to also remember that if anyone ever tells you something scary, disempowering, or demands money to remove a curse, walk away. And that's not spirit, that's fear, and you deserve better. So always use your discernment. And then, well, how do I receive those messages, whether I read psychically or mediumistically, that I'm going to talk about in a second? Well, even in psychic readings, well, people often assume the clairs, those intuitive senses, are only for mediumship, but I experience them in psychic readings too. So they're just the way spirit or your soul's higher guidance speaks to me. And I work with all six clairs. Hello, Tina. Happy Friday, Marta. Happy Friday to you. So clairvoyance, I see images, colors, people, symbols in my mind's eye, sometimes externally as well. Clairaudience, I hear words, phrases, songs, or names within my inner ear. Clairsentience, I feel emotions, sensations that don't belong to me. Joy, anxiety, chest pressure, warmth, chills. Then there is claircognizance, I just know things. Facts drop in without explanation. Clairalience, I suddenly smell something meaningful, like a scent from childhood, smoke, or roses. And then clairgustance, I taste things, sweet tea, soup, baked goods, something that connects you to a memory. Uh, and when I'm doing the mediumship readings, of course, those would be related to the people in the spirit world. But I don't force these senses, they come naturally as the energy blends with me. So whether I'm reading your aura, or I'm delivering you messages from the spirit world, I'm receiving them through the clairs. It's like spirit chooses the clearest channel to get the messages across. And then finally, of course, I have to talk about the mediumship aspect of my work. When I work mediumistically, I'm no longer reading your energy. I am connecting with the spirit world. I connect with your loved ones on the other side, your spirit guides, and your angels. And that's a completely different frequency. And before the connection begins, I raise my vibration through breath, grounding, prayer, intention. And spirit lowers theirs, and we meet in the middle where the blending happens. And from there, spirit begins to impress their energy through my senses. And I've already described some of the clairs, so this is how the spirit world operates or connects through me, because they don't have a voice box, so they have to find their own ways of communicating with me. And here is something that I want to explain clearly to anyone who might be skeptical to what I'm talking about, that scientifically we are made of atoms, and atoms are energy, and energy can never die, it simply changes form. So when your loved ones pass on, they don't just vanish. Their body may be gone, but their soul energy, their essence is very much alive. They don't have a physical voice, as I've been mentioning, so that's why they communicate through the use of those different clairs. I might see them, then they use the clairvoyance. I can hear their nickname or a phrase they always said, or they convey the message using clairvoyance. Or I feel their presence, a hug, a chest pain, or their bubbly personality. That's the clairsentience. I also know frequently how your loved ones passed. They impress me on those. With those medical conditions. Then I sometimes suddenly know something, like he was a fisherman, or she had 3 children. That's the claircognizance. Or I might smell their perfume or the specific smoke or smell of a cigarette. That's clairalience. And of course, that I can taste their signature dish or tea. That's the clairgustance that I've already mentioned. And all of that together builds the evidence, the love, and the message. So what happens in a mediumship reading? In a session, I might, what I've told you, bring through specific names, dates, personality traits. I might share memories or validation only you would recognize. Reflect how they passed and how they felt in life, deliver healing messages that bring closure, peace, or laughter, and reconnect you with your spirit guides or angels if they're stepping forward. And I always say that spirit shows up with what you need most, and it's not about what you want to hear. It's about what your heart and soul are ready for. And I always set an intention that you are to hear what is for your highest good. And I only connect with those energies who walk in the white light of God. So whenever you come to my readings, I know I create that safe space. I had a couple of clients yesterday and they were like so scared because they've never had the readings, and there are like so many, unfortunately, scammers or people who don't really treat this job seriously. So that's why it's one of the roles why Spirit wanted me to speak openly about what we do, um, using social media, so that we can really tell you how the right psychic mediumship reading should look like. Because I always work with sacred intention. And before any mediumship reading, I call in protection and I say, let me be clear, loving, let me be a clear, loving channel, maybe serve the highest good. And I always set an intention that apart from accuracy and speed and healing messages, I want to bring a component of magic and joy into every single reading, because I truly believe that we can grieve the loss of our loved one, but at the same time, we can also tap into feelings of joy and happiness, because our loved ones on the other side, they want to see us happy. And actually, they do see us happy, because this is what happens through those readings where they validate that they have not missed a single day of your life. So just to really summarize, as a psychic, I tune into your energy field. As a medium, I blend with your loved ones, spirit guides, and angels. But I want you to know that in both cases, I receive messages through those intuitive senses, which are called the clairs, and all of it, it comes from a place of love, intention, and trust. And this isn't about being special; it's about listening, surrendering, and building a relationship with energy. And my role is to help you trust yourself so you can connect with your guidance. And remember that you're never, ever alone. And during my readings and during my courses, I also teach everyone how they can connect with their own loved ones, angels, or spirit guides. So that's the question I wanted to answer. And feel free if you've got any other questions you'd like me to talk about. I'm going to cover, and I've got two other questions that someone asked me, and I thought that's why I would answer them during this live, because then I can direct people to those, as I find them very well. Sometimes certain things that we find they're obvious, they aren't obvious for other people, and I love being able to share that with you. So the other question that I received from someone this week was, how can I start developing my psychic or mediumship abilities? And comment in the comments how do you think you can, or because I know there are many other light workers watching it, so do share, do support each other. I think we can learn from each other a lot. But this is such a beautiful and important question, and I'm asked this all the time. How do I begin developing my spiritual gifts? How do I open up my intuition or become a medium? And my answer always begins with this: everything starts and ends with you. And it's not about jumping straight into mediumship or doing readings for others. It starts by building a relationship with your own energy and your own soul, and that's the foundation. So if I was to say, I'm going to give you a couple of things you can do to really start developing your spiritual gifts. Like, number one would be to know your own energy before you connect with spirit, before you read for others, if you're planning to, because not everyone who's listening or watching it is going to do it. You need to know what it feels like to be you. What does your energy feel like when you're grounded? What happens when you're anxious or drained? How do you respond to people, places, situations? And when you walk into a room, what changes in your body? Because this is crucial. Because when you know your own energy, You will be able to notice when something new enters, a thought, a feeling, a vibration that's not yours. And that's how you begin to recognize spirit. And with time, you will be able to learn based on the vibration, whether you're connecting with your loved ones, angels, or guides. But I always recommend at the beginning, and not even at the beginning, always to keep a journal, to track your energy, your emotions, and your intuitive nudges. And you can even ask, was this mine? Did I feel something that wasn't explained logically? Did I sense something around? And keep an eye on that. Hello, Ravi. So nice to see you. Then number 2, what can you do to start developing your psychic or mediumship abilities is to ground yourself. So I'm covering the basics, but sometimes the basics are the most important. You are the channel, and to be a clear channel, you need to be rooted. So develop a grounding practice every day or before any spiritual work. Breathe deeply into your body. Visualize roots growing down from your feet into the earth, and imagine light pouring in from above, clearing your field. And move your body to anchor into the present moment. Because without grounding, you're reading through static. With grounding, everything becomes clearer and safer. So once you've grounded yourself, once you've learned how to recognize what belongs to you, once you really know your thoughts and your energy, then the next step would be to connect with your spirit team. And you don't need to be a professional psychic medium to connect with your spirit team. Start building a relationship with your angels, spirit guides, and your loved ones in spirit. Just invite them in. Speak to them out loud, write them letters, ask for signs, keep track of the synchronicities that show up, any signs and symbols that they do send you, because over time this becomes a two-way relationship. And it's just like any friendship. The more you open, the more they can respond, and have fun with that. And then 2 other steps. Develop, of course, your intuitive senses. I talked today about the clairs, because spirit doesn't speak in words. Of course, they use words when they use the clair audience, but there's so many other ways spirit world communicates. So spirit communicates through energy, and that energy comes through the intuitive senses that we call the clairs. And I'm going to do a recap as well for anyone who's just joined right now. So when I do readings and when you will be connecting with your loved ones, it's so important to be aware and open of various ways that the spirit world can communicate with you. So they can use clairvoyance. You might see images, symbols, colors, or visions in your mind's eye or externally. Then clairvoyance, you might hear words, names, phrases, or even songs in your inner ear. Clairsentience, feeling emotions or physical sensations in your own body. Claircognizance, just suddenly knowing something without any prior information. And then clairalience, smelling scents like perfume, smoke, or flowers. And clairgustance, tasting something that connects to spirit or a memory. So know that spirit doesn't choose randomly, they choose the clearest channel available in that moment. And to develop your clairs, spend a week at a time, maybe focusing on just one. And the more you become aware, then drop a need of concentrating on them at all, and just allow the spirit world to communicate with you and use any clairs they would like to. Do not control the spirit world. Just notice what comes through, write it all down. Even the tiniest impressions matter because they're building your vocabulary with spirit. And I truly believe that sometimes like the smallest, tiniest messages are sometimes the ones that open the hearts of our clients the most or allow you to heal your grief. So be open even to the whispers from the spirit world. Erica, I think one of the most challenging things it was for me was to learn to quiet my mind, to hear my guides, and quell the doubt that creeps in. Thank you for sharing that. That's why I truly believe like it's the most important thing to start with yourself. Protecting your energy, getting to know your energy, grounding, but then of course quieting our mind, spending time in nature, allowing to become that clear vessel and not attaching awareness and attention to any particular thought. And the minute you do it, the minute like you preempt everything out of your mind, this is where all of those messages can come with so much more ease. But be really gentle with yourself, and it takes practice, like with anything. Set that sacred intention every time, whether you're meditating, journaling, pulling cards, or trying to connect with spirit. Always set an intention. Let everything, I'll give you an example. Let everything that comes through be for the highest good. Let me receive it with love, integrity, and clarity, and make sure that I'm able to hear and receive it clearly so I don't doubt myself. Like, tell the spirit world what is it that you need help with. And by doing it, you protect your energy, you tell the spirit you're serious, and you invite only the energies that are aligned and supportive, and you allow the spirit world to help you to develop your abilities. And then, of course, the next step would be to find the right mentor or development space, because you don't have to do this alone. And it's not only for those who want to work as professional psychic mediums or light workers. You can also develop those abilities for your own needs. Of course, not everyone is able to be a medium and will be able to read for other people, but I truly believe each and every one of us is able to connect with our own loved ones. Do you think we can all develop all clairs? Yes, I believe so. We can all strengthen and we can all develop and we can all concentrate. I do. So I always say, in terms of finding the right mentor and development spaces, that you can learn from many people, and that's beautiful. And I believe you should learn from many people, because by doing so, you create your own toolbox by learning different techniques, perspectives, and experiences. And what matters most is that you feel safe, seen, supported. You use your discernment, and then you choose what things work for you. And then you're able to try out things for yourself, and then you can remove or maybe not incorporate certain things that you don't want to. And if you are part of a circle or a trusted mentor or a structured course, I would encourage you to find someone who resonates with you, who works ethically, and who encourages you to, first of all, to be yourself, who encourages you to shine your light, and someone who encourages your own spiritual authority. And some of you might know that I have, for instance, a psychic mediumship foundation course where I guide students through all of this, from grounding to clairs to mediumship blending in a clear and safe way. And then I also offer one-to-one mentorship for those seeking deeper support. That's what my spirit guides told me to let you know as well, because you never know who is going to watch that live, and maybe what I'm sharing might resonate with someone who needs a little bit of support from me. But the truth is, you can always start with yourself, and know that you don't need a title to connect with your loved ones or trust your intuition. You don't need another degree, certificate. Just start doing it on your own. And finally, be patient and kind with yourself. This is a path of devotion and not instant gratification, and some days will feel magical, others will feel flat. But every moment you spend with your soul, every time you pause to breathe and listen, you're opening the channel more and more. And one day, something will come through so clear, so precise, so loving, and you will know I didn't imagine that. That was real, and I'm not alone. Yeah, that's that. Okay, I've got 5 more minutes. I wanted to answer one more question, or maybe two quick ones that some of you ask me. This one I have to answer this one. I have to answer this one. And then come and join me live where we'll be pulling cards. But I have to ask, are psychic mediums real or fake? I'm like, I'm real. I'm here. I'm here. But this is one of the most common and important questions people ask. And honestly, I'm glad that people ask it. Because in a world full of quick fix promises, fear-based tactics, and so many social media scammers sliding into your DMs, it is healthy to be skeptical, but skepticism shouldn't close your heart. It should open your discernment. So let me say this, yes, psychic mediums are real, and I know because I am one. But not everyone who calls themselves one is doing the work with integrity. And I want to talk about my own experience because it all began with me in terms of me developing my psychic mediumship abilities. It didn't start with reading for others, but building my own relationship with my own loved ones, angels, and guides. So before I even gave readings for other people, I started connecting with my own loved ones, or they started connecting with me. And then I developed that trust, and I developed that relationship. And then I started connecting with angels and then spirit guides. I sat in meditation. I did automatic writing. I wrote letters. I asked for signs, and I still do it. It's fun. And I started developing that relationship with the spirit world that was rooted in love, not pressure. And it's the most beautiful relationship that you can ever have. And that's why I talk about it so openly, because I wish for anyone to have that relationship with your spirit team. And I didn't do this for validation. I did it because I felt my loved ones. I felt my angels and spirit guides. And with my loved ones, yes, I did it because I missed them. And the more I leaned into the fact that it was all real, the more spirit leaned back. So when people ask, are psychic mediums real? I don't answer based on theory. I answered based on experience. And I know what I have felt. I know what I have seen, and I know how deeply that connection changed my life. And I'm going to explain again that those who need that science or anything evidential that's going to convince their logical mind that this is all real. Again, we're energy. Energy never dies. Science tells us that we're made of atoms, and atoms are energy, and energy, it cannot be destroyed, only transformed. So when a person passes away, their consciousness, their essence, their soul doesn't vanish, it simply changes form. And as I've been talking today, they no longer have a voice box or physical body, but they are still very much alive in spirit. And when we raise our vibration and spirit lowers there, we can meet them in the middle. And that's mediumship. That's what I do. Okay, another question that I'm going to mention again. Let me see. I've got it all the. Let me see. What do I want to answer? Okay, about like many people, they have very loud ego and they question it. Okay, I understand that. Sorry, I've just got a list of all of the questions I've been asked here. Well, we've been taught in a society to worship the logical mind. We're praised for being rational and discouraged from trusting our intuition. So when you start sensing spirit or tuning into your energy, and your ego might say, you are just imagining this. You're making it up. What if this is wrong? What if people laugh at you when you mention about it? what you're experiencing. That's normal because your ego's job is to protect you, and anything unfamiliar feels risky. But remember, spirit works through the energy of love, not fear, and mediumship is about stepping out of the head and into the heart. So don't suppress the doubt, just balance it with discernment. Ask for validation, keep a journal, and let evidence stack up over time until your soul says, yeah, or your mind, this is real. And yes, not everyone calling themselves a medium is working with integrity. Integrity. Suddenly, this breaks my heart. There are people out there who prey on grief and fear, and that's why I always say be discerning, ask questions, trust your gut. Never trust someone who slides into your DMs to offer you a reading, tells you you've been cursed, and they will remove it for a price, uses fear-based language to manipulate or control, refuses to let you record your session, or tries to sell you some weird spells, or makes you feel dependent or confused or afraid. Because a real reading, and I'll get back to your comments in a second, a real reading, I want to emphasize it again, should feel safe, loving, and empowering. A genuine psychic or mediumship reading uplifts your heart, brings through specific loving evidence. I hope it brings or should bring closure, leaves space for your free will, reminds you of your connection to something greater, and helps you heal, not fear. So if something doesn't feel right, you can say no, you can walk away. You're always in charge, remember. And this is why I teach integrity, not just intuition. Spirit asked me to show up online because I saw too many people being scammed, frightened, and discouraged from trusting themselves. And that's not what Spirit wants. And some of you know, like I keep repeating myself, but that's why I created the Psychic Mediumship Foundation course. And then in my private mentorship, I teach how to set sacred intention before any reading, how to discern what's real, what's ego, and what's fear, how to read with honesty, ethics, and compassion, and how to say no when the message isn't ready, and how to honor the seeker's sovereignty and spirit's wisdom, and most of all, how to make this work a service, not a performance, because this is a sacred work and it deserves sacred care. Okay, I'm going to answer one last question and then I'm hoping live with Ricky. Marta, I have a lot of high ringing in my left ear from time to time. Could it be spirit? Yes, and I know you know it. It is spirit. It is your loved ones trying to communicate with you. So keep raising your vibration. They will be lowering, and with time, you are going to start hearing them or maybe sensing them. I'm hopping off now, but I'm going to go on to Ricky's page. So I'll be live on my Instagram as well. So I'll see you in a minute, and then you can keep asking all of those questions. We are just moving that conversation to another platform, tying it to the summer solstice and to the divine feminine. So bring all of your questions and I'll continue answering them with my beautiful friend Ricky. I'll see you everyone soon. Bye bye. Lots of love. I'm logging out.